For those that understand and know, Sandbox's development process over the last couple of years has been an interesting one. A great interest at the start of the announcement of the game's engine switch to Source 2 now feels like it's at a plateau point. There's a lot that has been going on both with the game's development and trying to get access to it. So let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Iridium. We all know there's a ton of people who've commented and even mentioned on numerous videos of mine both on YouTube and on TikTok, both with dislike and also great interest within the game. More importantly, it's with great interest to truly be able to get access to the game and also trying it out for yourself too. It has been a good couple of months since I was able to snag a key and get access to the game early, and with that, it definitely has gotten me very excited. It feels like I'm personally at the very start of something possibly really big, new, and exciting for many people like myself who really enjoy the idea of minigames, indie games, and huge active communities which contribute content within the game to keep making it worth your while. The idea of this grand interest from so many people who want to try this game and also experience it does come with some form of expectation. The best way to even build this up is by consuming content you'd find with absolutely anything relating to Sandbox itself on platforms like YouTube and TikTok. With the idea of expectations, you end up running into some people that already have their expectations set high, or some that may lose them completely due to a change in development choices. The point I'm trying to get at is it's very hard to know what exactly to expect with Sandbox right now, except at what is shown out on media platforms, and most of the time, it's incredibly rough, incredibly early, and incredibly hilarious all at the same time. Let's go blue! At the forefront of it all, again, this is a game that has both similarities between its predecessor, Gary's Mod, and also takes a good chunk of those platform ideas already present within games like Roblox and smashes them together to make something possibly very awesome for anyone who even loves the idea of that to come alive. Now, this part is going to be really rough in some cases. With my videos, I really want to try my absolute best to keep a neutral stance in terms of the game itself, even though I have early access to it and have been playing it for so long. I do have to get my critiques out of the way, and possibly now is the best time for it since I've sunk at least 200 plus hours just playing games, covering the game itself, and also being present within the community. If a good amount of people who have genuine interest in Sandbox right now that just want to play it, test it, or even experience it in its current state with absolutely no developer experience, no modeling experience, no other ways creatively to provide anything to these small groups of indie devs, or rather create their own content for the game itself, a good chunk of them would be pretty disappointed. While on the other hand, some would be quite excited and possibly get interested in wanting to maybe learn or even get involved within the developer community. The only reason I'm saying this is because the game is obviously still in early development. Unfortunately, for a lot of people with such interest in the game who applied to get early access through the Facepunch forums, 70% of them mentioned that they specifically had between 1,000 to 10,000 hours playing Gary's Mod. I see so many like in between of mostly with people asking if it's like 2,900 hours in the game. They're looking for people that know if they create stuff. Same thing again. Now, it's not to say that these hardcore veteran Gmod players are not deserving of playing the game early. But with the current state right now which Sandbox is in, once again, personally, I would feel a ton of people would be disappointed. Here's some of the bigger critiques aside from the character models that most people who would be upset and disappointed about would say. Number 1. The netcode. Recently, I've been doing some live streams on Twitch where I have been testing and trying out some of the games alongside with the community while having fun and experiencing the game early. This has been one of the biggest issues I've seen by far, and of course, this will eventually get fixed down the line of the pipeline of whatever Facepunch and Gary will do. But people would be so incredibly irritated and annoyed that currently any game that has multiplayer, depending on where the server would be located at, or where the person who's hosting the game would also be located at, would be met with an absolute incredible wave of rage and complaints saying, "This is garbage, fix your servers, Facepunch please." Some games do play pretty well, but again, results can vary off of that factor alone within its current state. Number 2, the content. There's a good amount of content within the game, but rather a small amount of content I would say personally, since of course majority of the games you will play are made by the community. But people most likely will run into a brick wall when they notice only a handful of games work when testing them, or some games flat out don't work at all because developers from the community are testing concepts and ideas through these games to see if they basically work at all. Number 3, the bugs. The pain month was an incredibly difficult 3 or so months, plural, and that's when I had gotten the chance to actually try some of the games that weren't affected by bugs or broken things that were still being fixed by Facepunch during that time, which once again was incredibly limited. Now again, obviously these are all things that will get fixed over time, but I don't think a lot of people understand that with a game like this that's still early in the oven, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of things that are really needed to actually get finished before the thought of an open beta crosses Facepunch and Gary's mind. With the mention of all of those factors I recently spoke about, depending on the experience of the average player who would want to try this game right now would be truly met with mixed reactions and reviews all around the board. And it's not something I think Facepunch truly even wants to deal with right now at the moment, since it's not even a full game yet. It seems like Facepunch's current game plan goes as the following. Create the tools and systems built around the vision of Sandbox, which then developers and players alike can coexist within its ecosystem, as we'll call it. Then from there, work on adding more important quality of life features and things that are incredibly awesome to have or want to make you play the game when it's actually time to show it off. Then allow the players the chance to get in after the curtain has been unveiled and tinker and break whatever they can when it's the proper time for it with a good amount of content present. And then possibly release it when they feel like they're truly ready or whatever that would be. Again, this is just my personal assumption of the Sandbox development timeline, as I took this basically from every game development cycle I've either seen or witnessed that I could have shadowed developers in. But right now, I think it's safe to say that you may not expect too much and shouldn't expect too much right now, because the game itself is still early. Regardless of how anyone feels the game's style, looks like, feels like, and plays, it's the ugly side of game development. Cooking your food before it's a finished product may look odd and rough in the process, but depending on the chefs themselves, if they're cooking something up you might like, let them cook. Speaking about letting people cook, check out this video talking about why Facepunch is ditching the Steam Workshop in Sandbox. Thanks for watching.